accident this morning. One of the members of our party tripped when they were gathering firewood and managed to drive a stick into their shin, so a big puncture wound. So we're going to have a look at that and talk to the patient. So here is the wound. We've been dressing it for about an hour now. Some rubber gloves, which are always a good idea when we're working with medical stuff. And we've got a whole bunch of gauze pads soaked with blood, a blood-soaked bandana, and we're going to package this up with a non-sticky dressing, and then we're going to gauze the heck out of it, and then we're going to put a compression bandage on it. We're about 2 days out from town, so that ought to get us to town, and you know, it doesn't look like anything major's taken place, so that ought to definitely buy us those 2 days, and then we're going to get it checked out by a doctor. So what do you think? Tell us what happened there.
Well, I was in a ton of pain, and then Tim brought out this bottle of pills. I believe they're like Xanax or something. I think he got them off the street, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel so much better now.
No, I got them from someone who lives on the street.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to confuse the situation anymore.
Are you in pain, though, for real?
I've heard there's a chance we might have to amputate my leg, and I'm looking forward to that.
It's only a 49% chance.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad.
Not too bad? So, luckily on this trip, we've got several people with a lot of medical training. One wilderness EMT, a couple of wilderness first responders, and various first aid courses under our belt. So, it's not really a crisis, but you know, any wound like this that debilitates someone or slows them down can turn really bad really quick. So we're just going to make sure that we're on top of it. We're going to keep it irrigated, and we're going to check it tonight to make sure that no pus is forming and that it's not infected. But these are the things you just have to be prepared for because they happen. You know, accidents happen in any walk of life. The difference being out here on an expedition is that we can't just run to the hospital real quick. If we threw everything in the canoe right now, we could maybe get to a hospital in, if paddling as hard as I could, 15 hours, maybe a little bit less. But so we're fortunate that it was just a little puncture wound and that nobody drove an axe into their leg or got a third-degree burn or anything. Anyway, it's been raining now for 2 solid days, so the water level's super high, so shouldn't be too technical heading down from here.
Accidents sometimes happen here in the woods. We have a patient here who's had a puncture wound to the shin. This could turn bad for us. You know, the rest of us are enjoying our trip. We don't want to get held up. This guy could ruin it for everyone, really. So, in these kind of occasions, I like to use my trusty axe here. It's an American felling axe made by Spiller out of Oakland in Maine. Decent weight for this kind of job. Those shins can be tough. You know, in this kind of situation, you need a good swing. So we need to get out from under this tarp, or maybe drop the tarp in this kind of situation. You can see from the wound here, this could get nasty. But the patient's placid at the moment, not causing us any trouble. Maybe if he causes us some trouble, we'll strap him to this bench. Maybe give him this pipe stem to bite on, something like that. But, you know, it's all easily remedied here in the woods. No big problem.
So what the procedure is then to use the sharp edge of the axe and sever the leg at the knee, or the blunt edge and hit him in the temple?
Well, it depends really, Tim. If he's causing us any trouble, we go for a quick tap in the head with the blunt end. Okay. And then through just below the knee with the sharp end. And that should do the trick. Should see us right. And we probably just need to sear the end of it with some form of, maybe heat the axe up even in the... It is Greg's axe, so, you know, he's not going to need it for a while. So he's got plenty of time to retemper it or resharpen it if it hits any, you know, any chips then going through that bone. Right, and he could also carve like a wooden lower leg for himself. Maybe, yeah. That might be handy. Greg, anything to say? He's shocked. The patient's delirious, Tim. Yeah, you might want to give him a little tap to the temple with that axe to see if he's responding. Yeah. I think that might be the next course of action. All right, well, we'll check back with you in a minute, Nick. Thank you very much. No problem, Tim.